Hello and welcome to our 29th session, and in this session we will start building our complete audio pipeline by first setting up our AI room for our audio engine. This is a little complicated process wherein we are going to install all the Python libraries from the scratch. Follow it very carefully. So now in our very first session now, we are going to first set up a Python environment to start building this audio pipeline. In this session, we are going to install Git, we are going to install Miniconda, we are going to understand what an environment is, and we are going to create an environment, and later on how to install libraries using the pip command, using the package manager, and then finally we are going to create a test audio, convert it into MP3, and we are also going to see that all the cache files are stored in our D drive. So how to set this Hugging Face cache to D drive, all this we are going to explore it in this session. Now our process of building this entire audio dubbing pipeline consists of 10 phases, and we are going to go phase by phase. The very first phase here is installation of FFmpeg and Miniconda verification. So we are going to start from absolute foundation level. Install the base tools cleanly, understand what each one does, and prepare our DAI Studio environment before touching the actual Whisper and Indic F5 models. We will build this properly from the ground up. Think of this as setting up the engine room for our local AI dubbing studio. We currently have portable Comfy UI already installed. We have Docker desktop. We also have Walama installed. Inside the Docker desktop, we have anything LLM and Open Web UI installed. If you want to do these setups, you can refer my previous videos where I have clearly mentioned about this installation. To continue with this audio pipeline creation, it is not exactly needed to install all these components. You can start first with this audio channel and later on you can install these components. The first thing that I need is Python. I am going to go into my browser and just type Python and press enter. You have welcome to python.org. I will click on this, and here if you come into downloads, you have all releases and you have the latest version Python 3.14.4. I will click on this link, come into the download and choose download unverified file, and the file is now downloaded. I will open this in the folder. You have Python 3.14. Right click and choose run as administrator. I will choose this install now, and it will be installed in the default location. This is the path, and I will enable use admin privilege when using py.exe. I will not switch on this add python.exe to path. We are going to use different version of Python for different environment. I will keep this off. I will click on install. Python 3.14 is getting installed. Once the installation is done, click on the close button. Every month or 2 months you have a new version of Python coming. The language models will be written to a specific version of Python, and when it is updated, some of the features may not function. Say for example, for Whisper, I need Python 3.11. For Indic F5, I need Python 3.10. So I need different versions of Python for different models. We are going to first make use of a tool called Miniconda. This Miniconda is a manager that creates separate Python environment. For example, audio ASR environment for transcription, Indic translate environment for translation, Indic TTS environment for voice generation. The next tool that we are going to install now is Miniconda. But before I install Miniconda, let us structure our folder correctly. If you open your Explorer in the PC in D drive, in our previous session, we had created an AI studio, and all our content related to our AI Film Studio is stored in this one folder. In this folder, I will right click, click create new, and I will create a folder, and I will call this folder as Miniconda 3. The Conda software will be stored here. I will right click, new, and I am going to create a new folder, and I will call it as FFmpeg. I will again right click, and choose new, and I am going to create a new folder, and I am going to call this folder git_projects. I have created Miniconda, git_project and FFmpeg 3 folders. Then for all my audio applications inside my AI Studio, I will create another new folder and I am going to call this as audio. I will open this audio folder. I am going to create one more new folder and I am going to call this folder as input. Inside this input, I will right click and create a new folder and I will call this as audio input in audio folder, then new folder, and I am going to create video input in video folder. So I created in AI Studio audio, and in input I created two folder, audio and video. Then I will come back to audio folder. I will right click and create a new folder and I will call this folder as output, and here inside the output folder I will right click and create a new folder called as transcripts. I am going to right click and create a new folder and I am going to call this as translations. Right click and create a new folder and I am going to call this as TTS. Then I will right click and create a new folder, call this as final_video. So I have these 4 folders inside the output folder. Then I will come back to the audio folder, right click, and I will create a new folder and I will call it as models. And inside this I will right click and create a new folder and I will call this as whisper to store whisper models. I will right click and create a new folder and I am going to call this as Indic trans 2. Then I will right click and create a new folder and I am going to call this as Indic F5. Finally, I will right click and create a new folder called as Hugging Face. I have these 4 folders inside the model folder, and apart from this inside audio, I will create one more folder only for scripts. Then I will right click and create a new folder and I am going to call this as logs to store all my logs. I have created 5 folders inside audio, and in input I have video and audio. In models I have Hugging Face, Indic F5, Indic Trans 2 and Whisper, and in output I have final video, transcript, translation and TTS. So this is the folder structure that I have created right now. Now if you come into your YouTube video page or in the e-learning page, and if you scroll down in the description, if you click on more, you are provided here with a Patreon page link. Click on this link to open the AI Studio Architecture Patreon page. Here if you scroll down, you are provided with 29 audio pipeline files.zip file. Click on this to download it. You can open this, and if you have any issue in creating this folder structure, you can select this file, right click and choose extract all and click on extract. You have 3 folders. Only thing, I will rename this as audio with all small letter. Then I will select all these 3, cut it from here, then directly come into AI Studio and just paste it. All these folders are pasted. Addition thing you have here is, if you come into audio, if you come into script, I have provided 2 script files which we are going to use it later. I have given you the structure, and if you have any problem in creating the structure, download the zip file, unzip it and copy it to the AI Studio folder. Now our next mission is to install Git. Git we are going to use to download AI tools from GitHub. Come into the browser, type git here and press enter, and the very first link you see here, gitsem.com, click on this link. You have the latest release version. Click install for Windows. Have Git for Windows x64 setup. Click on this to download it. Once it is downloaded, open it in the downloads folder, and here right click and choose run as administrator. I will click next, and in the option here I can add an additional icon on the desktop. Leave check daily and add a git bash profile uncheck. Then I will click next. What editor I am going to use to edit Git files? So you can use the default Vim, or in the list you have Visual Studio Code. Because I have already installed Visual Studio Code in my machine. If you doesn't see Visual Studio Code, you can go to browser, type Visual Studio Code, go to Visual Studio Code website, download it and you can install it. Click next and adjust name, leave it at let git decide. and in the next you choose Git from command line and also from third party software. You enable this, click next. I will use the bundled open SSH, use the native Windows secure channel library. I will leave it as it is, click next. I am going to choose checkout Windows style, commit Unix style line Indics. I will keep this active, click yes. I will use Mini-TTY, the default terminal for MSYS2, click next. I will leave this option fast forward or merge. I will click next. Git credential manager, I will leave it as it is, click next. Enable file caching, I will keep it checked and click on the install button. I already had a Git version installed. It is removing it and it is installing the new version. Now once the installation is complete, I will switch off view released node and click finish. I will close my browser. Now come into the search and select your command prompt, run it as administrator, type git 2 hyphen and version and press enter. And if you see the version number here, it means the Git is properly installed. The next tool that I want to install now is FFmpeg. FFmpeg is used to extract audio from video, to convert WAV to MP3 or WAV to MP4, MP4 to WAV, all this conversion, and to join the final dubbed audio back into video. To all these applications, we need FFmpeg. To install FFmpeg, open the browser and type yarn.dev and click here the first link, home codecs FFmpeg. Now come into build, and in builds, and I am going to select this FFmpeg git full.7z file. Click on this. This is approximately around 156 MB. Come into your downloads folder, right click and choose extract all and click extract. Once the file is extracted, open this FFmpeg folder, select all the content here, right click and cut it from here. Come back to your PC, D drive, AI Studio, and we had created a folder called FFmpeg. Now double click to open it, right click and paste it. The FFmpeg executables are present inside this bin folder. You have ffmpeg.exe and ffprobe.exe. Whenever I want to execute FFmpeg, every time I have to come inside this path and I have to execute it. But I want this FFmpeg to be accessible from all locations of my hard disk. In that case, I have to add this path to my environment variable. So for that, come into the search and type environment variable. Get the option edit the system environment variables. Click on this. It will open system properties. Click on environment variable, and in system variables, if you scroll down, you have path here. Click on this path and click on edit. I will come back to my folder and I will select this path, AI Studio FFmpeg bin, right click and copy this path, come back to environment variable, click on new, press Ctrl V to paste it, then click OK, again click, even in system properties click OK. Command prompt is open, close it, and I will relaunch command prompt, click on run as administrator, and if I now type ffmpeg -version and if I press enter, if it shows this ffmpeg version like this, then ffmpeg is correctly accessible. Similarly, I will also check for ffprobe -version and press enter, and you can see ffprobe version is also accessible. FFmpeg is installed on our machine and its path is correctly configured. Now the next important component to be installed is Miniconda. Miniconda is a manager that creates separate Python environments. To download and install this, I will close the command prompt, and in the browser I am going to type conda.io and press enter, and this will bring you to docs.conda.io. In the Conda documentation, if you scroll down, you have install and you have Miniconda here, and click on this Windows version. Click here, confirm here, download unverified file. So come to the downloads folder, right click, and choose Run as Administrator. You have the welcome screen. Click Next. You have the license agreement. See this and click on I agree. Instead of all users, choose just me. Then click Next. In the destination folder, instead of installing it in the C drive, click on the Browse. Come into the PC, D drive, AI Studio, and we had created one folder here, Miniconda 3. Select this and click OK. Click Next. Create shortcut. I will enable this. Add installation to my path. Do not check this because we are running it in different environment. So I does not want this to be added to my path. Choose register Miniconda 3 as my default Python 3.13. I will check this option and click on the install button and wait for the Miniconda 3 installation to complete. Click Next here. Uncheck Get Started with Conda and Welcome to Anaconda and click on the Finish button. To run Miniconda, we have a separate command prompt only for Miniconda. So we are not going to use our regular command prompt. I am now going to search for Anaconda prompt. And you can see Anaconda prompt here. Click on Run as Administrator. A window similar to command prompt opens, but this is Anaconda prompt. To check whether Conda has been correctly installed, I will just type Conda 2 version and press enter. And if you see the Conda version number here, it means Conda has been correctly installed. Similarly, now I will type Python 2 and version and press enter. You can see that Conda has installed Python version 3.13. Remember, the Python version that we installed globally was the latest version 3.14, but for Conda we are installing Python 3.13. I have to configure Conda to install all its packages and environments in the D drive. By default, it will install it in C drive. And to change it to D drive, first I will come into Windows and I will open the File Explorer. Come into my D drive AI Studio Miniconda 3. I am going to now create two folders. I will right click New Folder and I am going to call this as Conda_envs. This will hold all the environment files. Then I will right click, choose New Folder and I will call this as Conda_pkgs and press enter. So this will hold all the package file. I have to now configure Conda to add this path to my Conda environment. I will open first Conda_envs and I will copy this entire path here. Right click and choose copy. I will come into Anaconda prompt and I am now going to call Conda config --add envs_dirs environment directory space, press Ctrl V to paste this path. If I press enter, this path is now added. Similarly, now I will add Conda config --add and this time it is pkgs_dirs, that is packages directory. Press space, come back to Explorer, come back to Miniconda 3, open Conda_pkgs folder, select this address in the address bar, right click and copy it. Come back to Anaconda prompt and paste it. Now if I press enter, now you can see this path also has been added. If you want to check whether this configuration has been correctly added, I have to now again type Conda config and this time instead of add, I will add 2 hyphen and show. I am going to call envs_dirs and press enter. And now you can see the DAI Studio Miniconda path has been added here and also this D Miniconda envs. To go through the previous command, press the up arrow. See, I will get the previous command. If I again press up arrow, I will go to the previous command. If I want to come to the next command, press the down arrow. Instead of envs_dirs, I will select pkgs_dirs and press enter, and this will show that all packages are stored in DAI Studio Miniconda 3 Conda packages. Let us practice some of the basic Conda commands before we start working with our environments. The very first command that we commonly need is to update our Conda. So to update it, we will call Conda space and we will call the command update. And then we will add a parameter -n and we will call base. Base means it is the default environment. You can see here. Space type -c. This is the default channel from where we are going to get all the Conda updates. So I will type defaults so that it will take the default channel. Then I will type Conda. I will type -y so that it is not going to ask for any confirmation. And with this command, if I press enter, it is now going to go and search. And now it is saying that I have to accept Conda terms of services. So I have not accepted its license agreements. I have to select the 3 commands. It is showing here. So I will select this entire line of command here until this package main. Press Ctrl C to copy and I will come here and paste it and press enter. The terms has been accepted. I will now select the second package. Ctrl C to copy, paste it and press enter. Terms and service are accepted. Then I will select the third line here. I will press Ctrl C to copy, paste it and press enter and the terms are accepted. I will press the up arrow and I will go 4 times above to come back to my Conda update command and I will press enter. It is going to update all the packages and our package has been updated to 26.3.2 version. And now to check this, type Conda 2-version and press enter. This is the latest one. So this is how we update the Conda. Now next step is to create and manage environments in Conda. First we have to see what all environments are available in our Conda, and for that the command is Conda space env space list, and if I press enter, as of now I have only one active environment which is called as base and it is in the location DAI Studio Miniconda 3. Star icon indicates that this is the active environment. I want to create a new environment. I will type Conda create and I will add -n. I will give the name of my environment. Just call this as test_AI. Space use Python equal to version 3.10 and I will again add -y. I am creating a new Conda environment with Python version 3.10 and if I press enter, that all the packages are downloaded and the environment is now getting created. Once the environment is created, if I come and type Conda env space list and press enter, you can now see there are 2 environments, base and test AI. However, now base is the active environment. And if I want to make test_AI as my active environment, type Conda activate and the name of my environment test_AI and press enter. The environment that is active is this test AI environment. If I now type Conda env list and press enter, you can now see test_AI is the active environment. Next, if I want to deactivate it, the command is just Conda deactivate and if I press enter, it has been deactivated. Again type Conda env list and you can now see base is actually the default environment. If I want to remove any of the Conda environment, the command is simply Conda remove -n, the name of the environment test_AI and I will add 2 hyphen and say all and I will add -y and press enter and now this entire environment will be removed. Now if I type Conda env list, you can now see I have only the base environment. For our audio pipeline, let us start creating first real AI environment. I will type Conda create and I am going to add -n, going to call this as audio-base. The version of Python I am going to use is Python equals 3.10, then space -y. And if I press enter, this particular environment will now be created. Type Conda env list and check it. I have the audio based environment created in my DAI Studio Miniconda 3. To activate it, type Conda activate and the name audio-base and press enter. So now this is my active Conda environment. In this active Conda environment, I have to install some packages. Packages are installed by using the command pip. Pip is nothing but the package manager that is used for Python installation. Just like we use npm for Node.js, for Python we use pip. I press space, install, and the name of the package. The first package I install is numpy and press enter. You can see this package is downloaded and installed in our audio based environment. Next, I will again type pip install, and this time I will install a package called Skippy, Scipy. Press enter. Now this package is now getting installed. Once the installation is complete, you can also see the version number. It is 1.15.3. Next, I will again call pip install, and this time I will install the next package, pandas. You can see pandas has been installed. Next, again I will type pip install, and this time I will install tqdm and press enter. Later, I will install pip install sound file and press enter. Then install pip install librosa, librosa, and press enter. I will use pip install and I am going to install pydub and press enter. Then I will call pip install FFmpeg -Python. So I am installing FFmpeg in Python environment and I am going to now press enter. We are going to import all the installed packages into our audio based environment. I am now going to type complete command list. So for that, I will type Python -c and in inverted comma, I am going to type import numpy, then sound file, then librosa, pydub, and I will add a semicolon. If all this import happens correctly, then I want it to print. I am going to add open bracket and inside this with single quote, audio based environment is working. I will end it with single quote because I have already added inverted comma here. Here I am using single quote. I will add close bracket and end it with inverted comma. And if I now press enter, now all the import is going to happen. And if you see the message audio based environment is working, then all the components are installed and imported perfectly. Now to test whether FFmpeg is correctly installed in my Conda environment, I will type FFmpeg -version and press enter, and if you see this FFmpeg version here at the top, this means FFmpeg has been correctly installed. To test whether our environment is working correctly, we are now going to create one audio file, and to create this audio file, I need a Python script. If you come into your Explorer in DAI Studio Audio, you have a folder called script, and here you have been provided with this test_audio.py file. This file I have already given it to you, and if you want to open it, right click and open it with Visual Studio Code. Now this is going to open in Visual Studio Code. It is now saying that since we have installed Python, it is asking me to install the Python extension for my Visual Studio Code. I will click on install. Here choose Trust Workspace and install. and this will install Python in my Visual Studio Code, so that this make IDE user friendly for my Python environment. Once it is installed, I will close this. And now if you come and see this test audio py, in the first two lines, we are importing NumPy and sound file. We are setting the sample rate to 16,000, duration to 2 seconds, and frequency of this. This is an audio tone. I have set it to 440. I have this code where it is going to create this linspace and it is going to create the audio file. I have set the output path to D AI Studio audio output test underscore tone.wave, and I have also given this SF write and finally print created output path. So we have given this code and I am providing you with a PDF file explains each line of this code. Now only thing you have to execute it. You can come back into your Anaconda prompt, type Conda, activate. I will first activate my audio base. It is already activated, but safer side I am activating it again. So you can see it is activated, so that I am in exactly in the environment. This you should be very careful so that you work in the right environment. So I am now in the audio base. I will call the Python command. I will come here into my Explorer. I will select the path to this script, right click and copy it. The file name, I will remember it. Come back to my Anaconda prompt, press Ctrl V to paste this path, then add a backward slash, and I am going to type the file name test underscore audio dot py. And if I now press enter, this created and the output path. If you come back into your DAI Studio and if you come into audio output, you are now seeing this test underscore tone.wave file. I am going to select this, and if you click on open, see you have a 2 seconds tone created here. How does FFmpeg do the conversion? I want this file from WAV format to be converted into MP3 format. So I will come back to Anaconda prompt, and this time here I will type FFmpeg, then -i, and first I am going to type the path of my original file. I will copy this DAI Studio audio output path, copy this, come back to Anaconda prompt and paste it, and in output I will add backslash and I will call this test tone.wave file, then press space. Where I want to save this, I will press Ctrl V. In the same path, I will add backward slash and I will call this now as test underscore audio dot mp3 file. This FFmpeg -i should now convert this file from WAV to mp3. And now if I press enter, and if I come back to my folder and see, you can see my 63 kilobyte WAV file has been converted into MP3 of 7 kilobytes. So if I now right click and if I open it and check it, this is working fine. Now our next mission to achieve is, we are going to download many models from Hugging Face, and all these models has to be stored in our D drive and not in our C drive. I have to set my Hugging Face cache to D drive. I will come back into my Anaconda prompt. I will press CLS to clear the screen, and I am going to call for the command setx. Variable I am going to set is hf underscore home, and I want this to be set to the path here in DAI Studio audio models. We have a folder Hugging Face. I want all the models to be downloaded to this folder. So I will select this address path in the address bar, right click and copy it. Come back into my Anaconda prompt and press Ctrl V to paste it. Press enter. Specified value was saved. Again I will call setx. I am going to call for transformers all in capital CACHE cache. This again I want to set it to the same folder here. I will press enter. The value is set. Again I will call for setx, and this time I will call for hf underscore hub underscore CACHE. I want to set it to the same path. Control V to paste the path and press enter. Now after setting the path, we have to close Anaconda prompt and restart it. I will close the Anaconda prompt. Now again come in Windows search, choose the Anaconda prompt here, right click and choose run as administrator. Now immediately you can see that as soon as I start Anaconda prompt, the default environment is base, but we are working in the environment audio base, so I have to activate it. Remember this to set the correct environment as soon as you launch Anaconda prompt. So I will call Conda activate and I will call for audio-base and press enter. Audio base is the active environment. To test whether the Hugging Face cache has been set correctly, type here echo %sign hf underscore home, end it with %sign and press enter. See, you can see the path is set correctly. So similarly, echo space %sign transformers underscore cache, end it with %sign, press enter. See, the path is correctly set. Similarly, echo %sign hf underscore hub underscore cache %sign, press enter, and the path is set correctly. So now you can see that the path is perfectly set. Now every time when we start, to check whether your system configuration is correct or not, I have created and given you another script. So if you come back into your DAI Studio audio scripts, there is one more script here, check underscore system.py. So if you right click this and open it in Visual Studio Code, choose here open, and now here you can see that we have imported sys, subprocess and OS. We are actually going to check Python version, Conda environment, HF home, FFmpeg, and the result will be displayed. So this is to check the system. Python file is already created, and line by line what this code is going to do, I have explained it clearly in a PDF file which you can download it from the Patreon page. Now I will come back to Anaconda prompt. I will close this check system py and test audio py Visual Studio Code, come back to Anaconda prompt, and now to check this script, call Python. I will select this path in the address bar, copy it, come to Anaconda prompt and paste it, and then add \, the file name, check underscore system.py. And if I press enter, it is saying Python version 3.10, Conda environment is audio base, HF home, what is the location, FFmpeg version and Git version. So with this, we have actually completed the folder creation. We installed the Git, we installed FFmpeg, then we installed Miniconda, we configured Conda environment, we configured Hugging Face cache, we created an environment audio base, we created a test tone.wav file, we converted into MP3, and we also checked the system using the check underscore system.py file. Now for our future pipeline, we are going to use this audio base for our basic audio utilities. We will create audio ASR environment for whisper and fast whisper transcription. We are going to use Indic translate environment for Indic trans to translation, and Indic-TTS environment for Indic F5 voice generation. So this we are going to do it in our future session, but our very next session will be to install PyTorch with GPU support for our RTX 5070 Ti, and we are going to test it.